In this class, the children and their teacher, all refugees, are native French speakers. However, according to Ministry of Education regulations, lessons must be in English, the official language here in Uganda. This approach, which aims to encourage the integration of the refugees in their host country, can be difficult for the pupils.
We refugees, we come from countries which are part of the French-speaking system. And here we're in the English-speaking system. That's a problem for the children because in their country they use French and here it's English. As you know, language is an essential tool for learning. So if you have a problem with the language, you also have a problem with learning.
It's midday, time for the school break, and Obed has come to meet Theodomir. The two boys get together to share their passion, football. With an Olympic aid coach, they learn to make a ball with the resources suited to their environment. Olympic Aid, a non-governmental organisation founded in 1994, is the brainchild of four-time Olympic speed skating champion Johan Koss. The aim of Olympic Aid is to provide underprivileged populations with the staff, equipment and facilities they need for games and sport. Nutrition, health and safety may be the basic needs, but games and sport make a major contribution to personal development and improve social relations.
While UNHCR has implementing partners, that is Uganda Red Cross Society and Olympic Aid, refugees find the life in the camps extremely boring, and it's through sports that they can interact with each other, create peace among themselves, and physically endow their bodies by participating actively in these activities.
Here in Nakivale camp, the social groups have lost their bearings after the wars, the famines and the exiles. Added to that, they are forced to live with other groups which have different customs. Sport has now become one of the only ways of creating social bonds, however weak they may be. Olympic Aid, which has a handful of volunteers from Europe and Canada working here, is trying to recreate the mechanisms of games as they exist in all societies. Olympic Aid trains coaches in the camp, organising courses and seminars just for the refugees. Abdul, a refugee from Burundi, followed the last training course and is now a games and sports teacher in Nakivale.
I decided to leave Burundi because the war was everywhere. Ambushes in the streets, attacks in our homes. I arrived here in January this year. I chose poverty rather than death. In this camp, there's a non-governmental organisation that I've started working with called Olympic Aid. I'm really pleased the organisation is working here because it's opened up my mind. Working with them is really important to me. I'm an educational psychologist by training, and I think that sport's really very important in people's lives, especially for refugees and for child refugees. Sport's an excellent form of psychotherapy. Sport helps children and adults to overcome the traumatic experiences they've been through. When they're playing sports, people try to forget the big problems that have happened in their lives. They really try to make a clean sweep in their memory, in their minds, in their brains, to get rid of, I suppose, the evil spirits, and to allow others to come in, so they can change the way they feel about life. There are children here who I watched before who had really very aggressive behaviour patterns, war patterns, who every time you talked to them, they talked about war. And when they played games, it was practically always with make-believe guns. They played at being soldiers. But when we introduced them to Olympic Aid games, simple games, communication games, group games, little by little, the same children tried to forget the war. They tried to forget about playing guns and soldiers. And now they know that there are other games, peaceful games, games about living together. That's the kind of behaviour change I've seen here, thanks to sport.
Welcome back to the second half of the East African Cup. Burundi on the attack, still a goal down and going all out for the equaliser. But Rwanda intercepts. It's end-to-end stuff. That's easy for Burundi goalkeeper Anteri Haritwa. He kicks upfield. Oh, lovely back heel by Jean de Dieu. But he can't shake off Manny. It really is a physical game. Great through ball down the middle. But the Burundi defence was alive to it. It's a physical game, all right, and Burundi come off better. They try a counter-attack. Firm clearance. Munyaneza, the youngster of the team, is playing the match of his life. He's sticking to his man like glue, and he's got the ball. He's left his opponent on the ground. Passes. It's on to Nsengimana. He controls well.
A German volunteer with Olympic aid, Heiko is refereeing the Rwanda-Burundi match, one of the official Nakivale Camp Football League matches.
Actually, I didn't have too much to do. It was a game which was played fair from both teams, and I enjoyed it. This is a good example how sport can bring people together. Sports unites them and brings people, communities from different countries, different nationalities, different tribes, religions together. We work with people and we bring them sports programs, we teach them, we work with children in sports, and we try to establish a kind of sports structure within the camp which is sustainable if we would leave one day.
6 o'clock. The match is over and Teodomir goes home to cook his only meal of the day. The menu is the same tonight as every night: corn and beans. At Obed's house, tonight's meal consists of the brioches that weren't sold at the bakery. In Nakivale, nothing, absolutely nothing, is thrown away or wasted. It's dusk in the camp. For all of the refugees, it's the end of one more day far away from their countries, their villages, but perhaps one more day closer to going home. No one can say. Here, everybody is waiting, living with uncertainty.
I would say everybody in Europe or in the Western world should come here and see what life is, what life of a refugee means. And it is almost unbelievable what you see. But on the other hand, how happy these people are. And that's what they give to us: happiness, joy. And through sport, you experience this almost every day.